I'm Dr. Manju Padare, and this is The Scented Edge. My passion for these conversations comes from my own journey. This podcast is an effort to translate that lived experience into something meaningful and positive. Now, let's get into the episode. So let's begin. I'm Dr. Manju Padare, and this is The Scented Edge. And today we have with us a celebrity, a fighter, a villain, a predator. You explain all those roles. Go ahead.
Okay, let's start with clearing predators. Something what you would think like the predator. Hi, I'm Theeban. I go by Theeban G. I started everything as a fighter first. Started karate when I was 5 years old. Parents pushed us into it. And also it was the cheapest sport around. And then I became national karate champion and moved on to doing MMA. So I solidified my standing as a fighter here in Malaysia. And then I also started to dabble in the movie and later in life. I've created quite a following, socials and all on the movies. I've been doing more movies since. It's been a long time dream of mine to do something related with tech. Technology has been something my brother and I talk about ever since we were kids. Growing up, we would speak about tech. We would do these funny things. He would tie speakers to his chair and then we're wiring and all with it. Now we have portable speakers. This was back in the early 2000s. My brother is in Australia now. He lives there. We talk a lot about what we're doing, what I'm doing, and try to really build something good, at least in that space.
So what was the experience like in karate? You earned 300 ringgits that time or so. And definitely that was way not enough for anyone. So what was that whole experience like? What was the point of it all?
What was the point of it all? In hindsight being 2020, the point of it all is very clear now. But in that time, when I started doing it, it was the natural progression. You finish a Sekolah Rendah and then you go into Sekolah, what's next, right? And you can do a couple of... I went into the sports school. I did a diploma there. And then from there, I moved forward into UPM. And the only reason why I got into the sports school was because I do karate. And so I started representing the country. After winning the national championships, I was 16 years old then, right? So 17, I got a spot you did in the team. We get place to sleep, food to eat, and then we've got school to go to. And so our allowance is only 300 ringgit. They don't call it a salary, they call it an allowance. Initially, it was okay. You're among friends, you fight, you travel overseas, you're fighting, and all that. And so years passed, and then one day I was walking the train into my 20s. You know, so what do I do? That's when I decided after SEA Games 2013, just when I left the team because I didn't really see how much further I can go. I was already carrying 2 knee injuries that required a full reconstruction. I was still fit to fight, but it's just that I didn't see myself there any longer, so I had to move forward and I started doing MMA, which is no way any easier. Because the whole professional journey is a different. You train with the national team, you get a salary, however much that is. Just have to focus on fighting. But with professional fighting or other MMA sport, like you have to do everything yourself. How do I market myself? In early 2014, it's just today is so much easier with the tools you have. Time, I didn't do the best that I could.
Okay, you must have done well enough. So the switch, you went from karate to MMA. That sounds like a worse thing because people are running away from pain and you are running more towards pain. What is going through your reptilian brain?
Reptilian brain. Yeah, I remember the first time I got into an MMA fight. I was, at the time, 7-time national karate champion already. I stumbled upon a selection going on in Paradigm Mall.
Okay.
In the mall itself. I stumbled upon it and then I find out about it. I was too late to join, so I was like, okay, next year I will try it, which was 2014.
Okay.
So 2014, I look for it, I sign up for it, I go for it. And I was, again, like I said, I had fight experience, but karate, nothing all. I hadn't stepped foot in an MMA gym at that time at all. So come the selection day, I go for selection and I thought, yeah, why not? I know, fight. So I do everything and there's some pad work and all of those things done well. And now it's time to go into the ring and spar with someone. I go, yeah, this is my thing. I know how to do it.
Okay.
So I get this big guy. Theeban comes into the ring and he's a boxer. He was standing in range, you're always striking from a distance. And I start striking this guy. Okay, cool. He gets really close to me. Okay, it's okay. And she doesn't want to let me. Gets me down. gets a choke on me. And now he's choking on it. My karate brain I do not know what to do. At that time, I tapped out. I lost the fight, but I loved the adrenaline.
What were you supposed to do?
I was supposed to, there's a step and so many things that you have to block the thing first and then move out, step out this way. If they do this, you react in another way. So there's a lot of technique that goes into that. I loved it.
But around that age too is when you went into the entertainment industry as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
How did it start?
That wasn't by fluke, actually.
Okay.
So my karate master, when we were still with the national team, he told me that he wants to produce a movie.
Okay.
And he wanted me to act in it. And at that time, I wasn't thinking of it as an opportunity or like something that was forced upon me. And I had to do it because, number one, he's my master, my karate master. Hierarchy is a very big thing in karate and in martial arts as well. So he said, and I had to do it. But the thing is, at the time, my spoken Tamil wasn't the best. I only saw myself as an athlete, as a fighter, but not an actor. I didn't know anything about it. I was 23 years old. I did it, came out of it, and I thought, no way I'll ever do that again. I didn't like it.
What was your role?
Oh, sorry, I played the lead character. There was a movie about karate.
So there was a hot chick.
No, there wasn't. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. But it was a story about an underdog, you know, the classic martial art or the sports story. I come up in, and then poverty sort of pulls me back into everything else. And so I didn't really enjoy the whole thing.
Okay.
And then I go back into fighting. It's now 2018. And the producers of Pascal, they called me, right? Hey, we saw this movie. I go, no worries. You did never. So I think they would love me to come in for an audition, which I didn't show up for because I thought they were just making calls like to anyone that's online. They go, hey, we want you to come in. Just try and see if it fits in screen. So I thought they did that. But then, so the next day, Sunday, they called me up again. They go, hey, you didn't show up. Oh, no, I really felt so bad because they were waiting and I didn't show up. I'm so sorry. They asked me if I can make it that day itself on Sunday. So I show up on Sunday and I got the part.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a very happy thing to happen.
And tell us what this part was in Pascal for those who haven't watched it. I can't believe there are people who haven't watched it, but please.
Pascal, the movie, it's a true story. And it's what happened with a few within the Navy, our Special Navy Forces. It's called Pascal. Very loosely based upon a true story. So it's about 5 guys. The main guy being Hyrule Azri. He played the main character. And then there's his battalion of very loyal team. So I was one of those guys. And the movie goes out, we take what's really going on in the seas. Pirates are very often patrolling the seas. They kidnap people from for ransom and all that. The story is that the pirates kidnapped 2 people and now how are we going to end the situation? A little bit based upon a true story. So very interesting character.
You're a good person in this, right? Good. So you have to hit the bad guys.
I have to hit the bad guys.
But the thing is, you come from an MMA background where you actually hurt people. Do you turn off the killer instinct and not kill the stuntman?
Oh, I think karate taught me that. Because in sport karate, it's not about how hard you can hit and how quickly you can immobilize your opponent. What we do is point sparring.
Okay.
So all we're trying to do is there are 6 criteria to get one certain point. That's your stance, your kia, which is your shout, the execution, and then your sportsmanship, and so many other details about a set to get 1 point.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, you don't want to hurt. You want to get that score and you want to pull it back and you want to finish and show the referee that you got the score. You got the point here.
Okay.
That's what karate is all about. So when we do a very high speed kick to the head, it's only supposed to tap your head and come back. So when I go into the fighting world of MMA, karate is not very popular. Taekwondo, more popular. Muay Thai, the most popular. Boxing as well. But with karatekas, there's just not as many of us there. So it's very weird for them to see these things that we're going full speed. And also, karate taught us how to do that. I just had to translate it and apply it now into movie fighting, which is completely different. For us, we go, no, that's ridiculous, but it looks good. So let's put it in the movie.
There are lots of fights happening in movies nowadays, and the fights are just choreographed. Non-fighting actors who are pretending to fight. Do you find fault? That's not right. Did you?
So let's just say that movies have become very hard to watch for me. I see what happens behind the scenes. I'm part of the whole process. So it's harder to watch a movie nowadays. So it takes a lot for a movie to convince me that now it's all real, it's possible. And I like the more realistic ones and movies with stories and it pulls you in. So I like those kinds of movies. So when it comes to fighting, so many things. I'm also the choreographer. I also choreograph fights for movies and I fight on screen as well. So I understand the nuance. Sometimes you have to edit, sometimes you have to remove it. And sometimes the fights are really good, but then the actors are not. Sometimes the actors can do so much more than the choreographers have given them. But yes, I'm constantly looking at these things and looking at the details and picking it out. And okay, that's nice. Oh, that's bad. Oh, this is question. It's fun.
Let's talk a little bit about typecasting. So far, you've been the criminal in movies. Do you not see yourself transitioning into a more romantic role, for example, or fantasy role? You simply have the looks for a romantic movie.
I don't know, the scar on the face. So many years ago when I started this thing, I thought that no, I'll do action. Again, is that I myself typecasting myself. Before that, it was me as a fighter and I cannot do anything else. But what happened along the way was that I found a love for acting.
Okay.
And at the beginning, it was more like it fell on me. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, but it fell on me and I was going with it for a couple of years. And then came a time where I was getting all these action roles, good guy, bad guy. And then came a time when I thought, you know what? Yeah, I like it. Because when I read scripts and I go, oh, I can try this. And I'm reading other people's lines. I go, oh, he can do it this way and she can do it this way now. And then I can come this way. And I started doing these things in my head. And that's how I noticed it all started to come together. Okay, I really want to try different things other than the action. Which I did a comedy movies, 2 comedies actually. I played a funny lifeguard who couldn't speak in English. And I played a Japanese ghost after them. Then I also did one of the more extreme ones, I think, was a gay makeup artist.
Oh.
Yes. And I had to go all out for that because the outfit for it. Well, I like the character and I'm happy I did it. So I'm really trying to explore multiple different kinds of things. I also recently did a Tamil drama about an abusive husband. I was playing the abusive husband. I had to put my own take on them. It's fun. It's the acting part of it. It gives you an endless possibility. When you read a script, the possibilities on how you can play a certain line is so endless. And the more I see experienced actors that I work with sometimes, and when I get to see them work or read a line and how they read a line and the questions that they would ask, it really helps build my understanding as the actor. I was at a table read once and the lead actor, he asks questions about the most random things. What color is the cigarette box that he's holding? Just very interesting things for him to picture something. If they don't have a color yet, no problem. He can build his own thing from there and he can then suggest, I want this because of this. It becomes less than just words on a paper, even biographies of a certain person's life. It's a very interesting entire process, this movie making.
Do you hear yourself in that case becoming like a character actor, perhaps? Because that takes, I think, a lot of work. If you've seen some of the best character actors out there, Johnny Depp, I guess, would be the one that comes to mind. But I would assume, not that I know anything about acting, but I would assume that takes a tremendous amount of work.
I have put a lot of thought into that and what it means, in fact. Every role that we get, however small or big or deep or shallow, it's a character. And in that sense, all actors are character actors. We all play a character to a certain extent. But now, how are we going to play it? Because I've seen this countless times when I read a line, and it's very easy to do it a very generic way. Let me try and think of an example as I explain this. And then that same generic style of delivering a dialogue, I would see the same style, see another guy doing an audition, doing the same thing. And it is the same thing that we see on regular TV. What I understand today as an actor is that on these sets, where you do dialogue delivery, it's very constrained for time. You are doing multiple scenes a day, so there's no real time to sit around and play with the art of it, but you will make connections, right? And when the line goes like maybe, Mana Kaupagi, they would write it down as Mana Kaupagi, and then you would go and deliver it instead like, Kopi Mana. that would be more natural as a Malaysian delivering the line. These certain things that an actor can do, permission obviously, but how are you going to really play a certain line? In that sense, becoming a character actor, that now how far are we going to go into each word, dig into each word, and then from there move forward? Why am I doing this? Why he's slamming the table? Instead of slamming the table and shouting, can I slam the table, but though I don't want to shout. I want to be soft and I want to make my point very clear. And is that scarier than slamming and shouting my lines? We discussed with the directors as well, how are we going to do certain things? And becoming a character actor itself, I think I find myself in that headspace at least every now and then. With a couple of characters that I've done recently, I find myself bringing it home, and it's not a very nice thing. So you have to detach, like I did the character with the abusive husband that I was talking about earlier. I almost got into so many fights on the road. I was just unhinged a little bit. And that's moment. It took me a little bit to get calm again.
Wow.
It's very fun doing it.
You really get into it.
Yeah.
You worked with a lot of the cast like Iko and who from Indonesia who've made it to Hollywood. And there are also a lot of Malaysian actors now who've made it big in Hollywood. When are we seeing you in Hollywood?
I hope very soon. It would be lovely to get there. Yeah. Someday, hopefully, for sure.
What about some actors don't like CGI, right? So they prefer to do their own stunts. Of course, we have a Hollywood actor who likes to do all his stunts. Do you see yourself going down that path? But it takes a lot, though, to do that, which you have. But is that something you would like to pursue?
Yeah, for sure. I think here, to a far smaller extent than in Hollywood, we still use our actors. What we do is a couple of months maybe before filming, the actors will try and get prepared physically and everything to get the skills of fighting or is it guns. And they would try and get everything first before going in. But then at the end of the day, it's still about safety and also finances. Because if you, the lead actor, or you, whoever in the movie, you're supposed to do multiple more days of shooting. And you do something really dangerous, something that maybe you haven't prepared for, something you think you can do. And all these safety things come into play. So the producer at the end of the day has to say, hey, it's too dangerous. I need you still for the next day. So stunt guy goes in here. But obviously, when it's a little less risky, you can go, yeah, I can do that. I can do it better for you. Stuff like that. Even jumping off a building and then trying to land somewhere. Like, okay, you guys go ahead. I'm doing that.
This podcast is supported by Work. More than just a co-working space, it's an ecosystem built for human connection. So whether you're established or you're a startup, find room to grow at Work. Are some of the movies that you watched and you said, wow, this is cool. I want to be like that. Movies that inspired you and made you want to, when the opportunity came.
I was always into sci-fi.
Okay.
So when I watch movies, even when I was younger, really pick out what I like and don't like about a movie. I always like sci-fi at least. And then I also watch other stuff. My dad introduced me to Gladiator and Ben. So movies like that. The acting element of it I also really liked about movies in general. So when I became an actor, every movie I see is about now me trying to download data, okay, this way. It's not a thing that I think about doing. It's just coming in. So I don't want to stop it. And sometimes I also find myself rewinding, going again, going again. And the actors like, the movies like No Country for Old Men, if you've seen that one. Brad Pitt recently did one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Also, the movie on the train, Brad Pitt is one of those actors that can do so many things. But we also have actors here who do the same kind of thing. So with the Shazzy Sam, he's made for so many different kinds of roles. He can do comedy, he can do action. And when you see him work, I can learn a lot. I remember there was once I did this movie called J.F. Debussy. Okay. Dato' Sham. He was joking outside and just having fun. And he has to do a crying scene. But what is he trying to do? And then the director says, okay, go. She goes in. All within 10 seconds, he immediately starts doing it so convincingly, right? So all these different actors and these different kinds of movies that I watch still my entire who I am, how I like to be. When a director says, can you do it this way? I don't like it this way so much. Can we try this out? I have a certain way that I like it now that I didn't 6 years ago.
So, what has changed from Theeban to Theeban G? People and directors would have a certain expectation of you, right? Because you
Absolutely.
carry their branding. How do you deal with fans? What's life like?
Let's talk about the branding. For directors and brands would like you to carry the brand, so you have to be of a certain appeal as well. I guess a lot of it is taken care of by working out and looking a certain way constantly. And also growing up, my parents were very big on us being clean shaven, not just clean shaven, but tidy, always presentable. And my dad made it a point to make sure we know how to speak to people. So we know how to carry ourselves, and when we go out, and both of them, they made very clear that this is who they want us to be when we grow up. Not like in a certain occupation or whatever, but like people, generally, who are we? My friend once told me, hello, Lazri, I was thinking about what do I wear to go for this event? Oh my God, I don't know what to do. It is the team, Machan. What do I do? So he goes, hey, brother, don't worry, relax. You're the celebrity. Go how you go. And everything else will fall into place. And that really stuck, right? Because at the end of the day, I am my own brand. Can help you carry your brand and all of that. And so if it's a certain event, we can dress up a certain way. But at the end of the day, I will do what I do best. Sometimes when the best is just shorts and slippers and I'm going out. And I understand if someone wants to take a picture, sometimes you use shorts and that. So it's a little bit, it's fine. And it's still me, it's still how I do it. I dress accordingly and go wherever I need to go. Just try and be as Theeban as possible. The fans have been, they always want a picture and sometimes they go a little bit crazy. But it's very nice. The whole experience has been more humbling than anything. I understand that it's just the movies. They watch a movie, they like you on screen, and they're taking the time to come and appreciate you. Say, hey, I want a photograph, or I want an autograph, or whatever it is. Absolutely. And they've been the greatest. They've been very nice.
And how is it with family and friends?
Well, really, at the start, it was so weird. My friends would take jabs. Absolutely. Good, like really close friends, right? And then there would be the occasional fan who would come, and when I'm with friends, they would come say, we want a picture. And then he would, we'll have you take. And now I'm in front of you, taking a picture of you and your fan. And then there's my family.
Are they behind camera making faces?
No, they're trying to camera making faces to me. Anyway, you guys are crazy.
Good fun.
And then there's my family who, when the people who come to take pictures and all as well, they go behind the people who are taking pictures, and they're taking pictures of me being there taking a picture.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, so they're having their share of fun as well. Please don't everyone, well, but everyone's just, it's all fun.
Now you've done acting, you can do multiple things. Haven't done modeling.
This is fun. It's not fun. Yeah, I actually did do modeling, but it's not something that I like doing, at least in the sense that I was approached by one they wanted me to do it. I did it once. It was for a fashion show. They wanted me to wear a piece.
Nice.
So I did that, and I've never done modeling since.
Do you not like?
I don't know if I have a desire to try it. I don't have that.
Okay.
If the opportunity comes and it's interesting, like we've done a couple of modeling photo shoots, wearing the designer's clothes and doing photo shoots and all. So I've done that. So if that is considered modeling, maybe it is. So in that sense, will I be okay with it? Yeah, if the clothes are fun, if the clothes are nice, the colors are good, if I can understand what's going on, I would totally do it. I've done it a few times already now. But the whole walking on a show and all, I don't know, I'm scared.
That's not.
But yeah, for sure. If the opportunity comes, I would try it, for sure.
Okay. So you've liked tech. Are you planning on doing anything down along the tech or app route?
Yeah. So with my tech startup, it's called Hara Technology. And it's the idea that people have always been asking me, how do you stay that way, so fit throughout? It's just that my body is a certain type of. People ask me, what's the thing? What are you doing? So it's a complete training system. It's my training system. One that I have developed over so many years of being in the sporting world. I underwent 2 knee surgeries. For my second knee surgery, I didn't have access to the National Sports Council physio sessions and all that. Because right after my injury, I went for the surgery, and then I was dropped because I couldn't fight. Right? So I was dropped. And now I had no access to anything. I remember this. I was lying down at home, 19-year-old, lying down at my parents' house. I go, what's next? I've been making 300 ringgit all this while. And sales finishes in less than a month. Now I'm lying down here. Doctors have told me to stop sport, just forget everything, move on with life. Hard to do. I didn't know what to do. I had to fix my knee somehow, but I come from a normal family. Couldn't go physio outside or anything. So from memory, I had to recall everything that was done within our training sessions. So through trial and error, put a program together, which is what I have here.
Okay.
This is my book of programs.
Okay.
This is years and years. I don't know if it's sweat or water or whatever it is, but it's been with me for years. So this is the system that I built on how I train and when I train. And if I stop for a week or 2 weeks or a month or so, whatever it is, I know how to get back into it and start doing what I have to do.
Show that closer to the camera because it's just amazing. It's all handwritten and quite beat up, which means you put time and sweat into it.
And when people kept asking me, what do I do? How do I stay fit 365 days a year? I would start giving tips. You just have to be consistent and this and that and disciplined. And it started becoming so Christian. And I started in my own head, I go, no, I sound like that. So what difference am I making? I've that script so many times before. We'll be consistent, disciplined, wake up and find. How is my advice now going to sound any less of just an echo? And people just say, oh, okay, it's same thing again. And that's when I stopped doing personal coaching and all that because I wasn't getting the idea across. Okay. That's when I came up with the idea to create an app. It's called Hala Fitness. And what it does, it gives you the fundamentals of what training is supposed to. Today, there's an app to track your every calorie. There's an app to track exactly what muscle you're doing in the push and the pull day or whatever. And exactly how much proteins you need to eat. And it can take up so much of your life. If it's giving you something out of it, good. But the entire system is not connected and it's not giving you the fundamentals of what's supposed to be. When I train, I write a program, I do the program, and I put it in my book, and I write down exactly how I felt. These 3 things. This is how I felt for this. I know exactly what I'm dealing with. So the next time when I go and do it again, I go, okay, I pulled my back when I did this. Why? Let's try and fix that with maybe a couple of other exercises to prime the back first. And really breaking down each workout and why each workout is done and how each workout is performed. If you just kind of keep swinging like that, no problem at all. But why are you swinging? Do you have a reason for it? All of this is in here. And with the food tracking apps and everything like that, I don't know how much of this is being instilled within now the fitness guy. It's very limited in so many senses. If it's a calisthenics app to teach you calisthenics, it's calisthenics purely. And you get a small group of people doing that. So what I want to create is a complete system like exactly what you see here. Now in my phone. And over time, you would learn all you need to learn to then do it yourself. And that's the only way you're going to take control. Because if you're constantly relying on your personal trainer who is too expensive, who doesn't have time, and if you want a certain personal trainer, you would have to travel as well. So all of the trainers are now on an app, and it's much simpler that way.
So you have different levels from beginners to...
So fitness creators who are now creating for Instagram and creating for TikTok, what they would do there is say, either click the link in my bio, or go to my YouTube page, or go to my website, download my program. You're dealing with individual coaches here, right? And it's a broken system. You will jump here, you jump everywhere. Instead of that, we've created something that creators can go on, they can put their videos there, they can put the programs direct. The system is built for a fitness creator to key in whatever details they need to key in for a training program. Say my training program has 2x10 bank. That's all it says, 2x10, but I know it means 2 sets, 10 reps. So that's my own system. So if I want to create a system for sets, there's a system already built in within the app for you to create the entire program. If it's going to be time-based, if it's going to be distance-based, everything is already made. So you just have to key it all in and then upload your program. So if a user is using the app, all you have to do is you see something you like, a video you like, go into the program immediately. You don't have to go around.
So you're going to be demonstrating all this on the app?
Oh, not just me.
Okay.
So it's open to everyone. It's a social media app for fitness. So anyone and everyone can start creating, just like on Instagram and TikTok, where anyone and everyone can create an upload. And you create an upload and you tag it. This is a strength workout. This is a calisthenics workout. This is a yoga workout. you would categorize it differently. And we have everything built in for you to choose whatever category you want, go to a coach, go to a program, and then start doing the program.
Okay. I will definitely give that a try.
When it's out, I'll absolutely let you know. Thank you.
Oh, most guys go into gym and they do tracking, right? They track how much weight, how many reps, exercise to failure, and all this. So how do you get them from doing all that to following what's on your app?
So I do the same things. I also track everything, put my information into a book. But sometimes what happens is when I go to a gym, I have to come up with these programs. And that's a bit tough. I have to think about what I have to do. Sometimes I know what to do this whole month. But then again, sometimes I go, I don't want to do that today. I want to do something else. And people say that you can't, you have to follow what's set in place. You can go out every now and then, as long as you come back and you get it again later. So for the women who are already doing it, you can start tracking everything. You can create your own programs, put it there, write down exactly what you did, how much weight was carried. There will be a template for you to write down how you felt throughout the workout and throughout the entire day. So it's just a system like this book now on your phone. And if you can follow the phone or follow the book, you would get there maybe much faster, because those are the systems that I use.
Now, let's talk about my own journey. I was 100 kgs. Now I'm 45. How would you tell me to go from 100 to 45?
Ooh, that's a tough one. But let's take one problem at a time. At 100 kilos, your body will be overweight. First, congratulations on bringing it down. That's a crazy one. So first thing you would do is you are overweight. So naturally, maybe your joints are holding a lot more than they can carry. We can start with reducing our food. We can do that if you are overeating. But people are not overweight. People are just eating as they eat. Maybe maintain, maybe just a little bit less. But what we want to try and do, we want to try and increase physical activity. That's the first thing that I would do. In one day, 24 hours, a few hours we're asleep. The rest of the day, how are we spending it? Some of us are just in front of our computers and we're doing work, and then we snack, and then we eat lunch, and then we're back to work. The occasional getting up and stretching is not enough. So what else is the average Joe or Jane now doing to combat this? We have to understand that work is work. Work is wonderful and all. But if we go to work however many hours a day, say it takes up, I don't know, 12, 15 hours a day for you to travel and travel back and everything. That rest of the day, you can come home and go, okay, I'm done. And then just wait for the next day. You have maybe a bite, and then you flip the channels, and then you go to sleep. Identity is built in these couple of hours before you go back to work. How would you identify yourself? I work at this place. This is what I do. So now first thing we have to do is let's try and put in a you factor into everything else. I work here throughout the day, but now it's you. What do you want to do at home? Do I want to get up and go to the gym? Do I want to get up and go for a hike? Do I want to start cooking this meal that I'll be prepping for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Let's build that identity a little bit. But inside everything, let's include something that will help you bring up your physical activity as well. So maybe you walk around the block, because at that weight, maybe let's not jump into running or anything yet. A month in, you're comfortable walking around, you're comfortable with the new schedule and everything. And then let's introduce some weight training to strengthen the joints a little bit. Because the body's going to respond, everybody's going to respond differently to weight training, right? Also, you have to ease into that, see how you want to track your weight. But at the same time, you don't want to be too focused on the weight. The weight will come down. Your lifestyle changes what you want to focus on. Because if you're going to start focusing on, oh, the weights must come down, the weight must come down, and then you start starving, when you start doing way more than you want to do, when you go back and then say you stop for a week or so, now for you to go back into it, you go, oh, that was really hard last week. Do I really want to do it? I've heard of this egg diet. People do 4 eggs a day, and that's all they're going to do. Really bring the weight down. You can do that. It's possible. You will see results for sure. But you're starving the body. But now, is that a sustainable program? Sustain a program, and the next time you think about going back to the gym or doing the same routine again, do you want to a peasant thought like, oh my God, I'll never do that again. So we've built this 1 month thing now, and then later you bring in a structured training program, and then over a year, over 2 years, give yourself the time to slowly bring that weight down. Because once you do that, and then you'll be able to maintain that weight moving forward. Obviously, you can also speed up the process within 1 year, within 6 months. You can, as long as you are in control of what you're doing. And for that, you need consistency. You really need to start and then not stop. So build a habit, build consistency, track everything, and then continue that whole thing. It's a lifestyle change. People always say, when your lifestyle is going home after work and then just bumming on the couch, that lifestyle has to change. Yes, you may take the stairs at work, but is that enough now? So a lifestyle change will help so many things, not just you, also your mind. You start thinking about other things, gives you identity.
When will the app be out?
April 26th.
My birthday month.
Oh, yes.
There's actually a lot more I want to cover with you about your acting and about how that's done, the behind the scene and all that. So I've got lots of questions here. But we've come to the top of the hour, so we definitely need to do second episode. Even if you're in Hollywood, you're going to book a ticket down to KL and do this podcast. But here's the question I ask all my guests at the end of the show. If you had one wish to make the planet a better place, what would it be?
Wow, good question. Thank you. If I had one wish, maybe it may sound cliche. I don't know how to rid myself of cliches. It is to really listen when people are talking. There are so many times when I'm talking and people move on to the next thing. And there's no kindness within that act itself. I feel whatever it is, get in there, talk, and whatever differences, whatever it is, you will, okay, I misunderstood, let's move forward. And if everyone is kind and can really pay attention to what's being said, I feel like we can really start moving forward. Now we have preconceived notions in our head, and then we move forward with that instead. Be kind and listen.
Wow, agreed.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. So that brings us to the end of the show. I'm Manju Padura, and this is The Centered Edge, and that's a wrap. Well, thank you for joining me at The Edge. Now, the stories and opinions shared by my guest are theirs alone. They are raw, personal, and do not necessarily reflect my own views or professional stance. I present these dialogues as lived realities, not absolute truth. It's for you to examine, challenge, and interpret. Like any investigation into the human condition, the evidence is laid bare. What you take away from it is entirely up to you. Once again, this podcast is supported by Work. Work is not just a co-working space, it's an ecosystem built for human connection. So whether you're an established entity or a startup, find space to grow at work. Okay, be sure to turn on the notification bell icon for this podcast. And here's a surprise. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you do all four, there's a mystery gift potentially waiting for you. I am Dr. Manju Padura. Until the next time, stay centered, but keep your edge.